we start, Bill? Here's the agenda list.
Yeah, well, I've got my little thing
Okay.
here because I get some extra stuff. Well, I'll just talk about things that just need to be listened to and thought about, let's say. We had a free-range chicken complaint on Pleasant Street, handled by Helen Roach. Board of Health can get involved if need be, but Helen kind of explained to the owner of the chickens, they gotta keep money in the box. So
Good.
she's currently listening. I spoke to the abutter. He said currently things are good. I could call us if anything. So
Just to let you know, Bill's voice isn't really coming through well.
my voice isn't.
No, sorry.
She's sitting right beside me. Let me see this.
Yeah.
Is that any better?
Yeah, your voice is stronger than his. Might just be the placement of the microphone.
Closer, Bill, closer.
Yeah.
Squeeze in.
All right, so that's free range chickens. I'll speak louder.
Free range chickens.
Title V inspection report we got for Whitney Estates condominiums, and that is a pass.
They started.
Donna, you got that?
Title V Whitney Estates pass,
Yes,
Okay.
Alden Drive is the name of the street.
Alden Drive?
Yep.
Okay.
Again,
Oh, we
just to
lost-
state, Paul and I and Chief of Police, Fire did a walk at Berlin Auto Parts, and everything looked in order. We had no issues. I spoke to the state about the noise complaints we do get from time to time, and Michelle Delmar had some recommendations that I'll pass on to Vaughn.
I think we lost Bobby.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Okay.
For him.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Paul,
Hi,
Hey,
Paul.
Paul.
that was me following you out of the parking lot. Um, 19 Carter Street, we had a meeting with Margaret, police chief, building inspector, Paul, myself, the board of directors, about the complaints again about noise. And we're gonna have some type of a forum, so people can express their concerns and how they might be addressed. But speaking again to Michelle Delmar at the state, she felt that because it's a nonprofit, it may fall into the exemption as a public gathering. So as that forum approaches, I will either get something from Michelle or ask her if she'd like to attend.
Okay.
One thing to be clear on 19 Carter, because I followed up on it. So far, there were just 2 noise complaints.
Yep.
There was a third communication, but that was an inquiry about site plan.
All right, well, I guess we'll see what transpires. I haven't seen anything on the forum yet, have you?
I haven't either. And I was just with Margaret, at another meeting, and we didn't even come close to touching on it.
Okay, all right. Bellevue Road, we had talked about housing court, but a couple other options have arisen. A while back, I had told you that because it's outside violation, that when I spoke to folks at my office, they didn't feel that condemnation was really a route to take. I took it upon myself to look at the housing code, and actually failing to clean up a property under the 600-602 citation that we've issued is actually listed under the condemnable offenses. So I just want to bring those options to the board's attention before we move forward with any of them. I spoke to Chief of Police today. I guess there's a new Montechusett contact that he's going to try to get me a name and number for, because the chief had talked about, pulling the owner's license for other infractions, and she really didn't think that was a great idea because he loses mobility. So if we've got a new Montechusett contact, we might be able to reach out to her about our need to get things done and see if she could perhaps be, a liaison. Court's still there, but again, if we could handle it without that step, I think it would be wise. just something to think about, and I'll continue to ask the chief for that name and number.
So failure to clean up a property is a condemnable offense?
It is. I bring the housing code, it's in my car, but the housing code in the section, I think it's 750 lists, no power, no water, no electricity, no sewer. There's about 10 items that are considered threats to imminent threats to health and safety. And failure to clean up a property under the 602 citation, which is what we use. If the board feels it's a threat, which again, we've talked about gasoline and oil and water.
Okay.
I think we could go that route if we want to. My hope is that maybe we can talk to this Montechusett person, tell her that's what we're thinking, maybe put that bug in the owner's ear and see if it makes a difference. The police chief did say one car has been removed, so if that's worth it's to start, I guess. But so we need to continue. I'll see if I can get that name and number from chief.
Yeah, I need to interrupt and ask a question. On my screen, Bill, it looks like you and Sue are sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Well, I went to the town building tonight, Paul. I didn't know this was Zoom only.
Oh, okay.
And the computer in our office does not have a camera.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got the
Sue
laptop.
graciously invited me over versus zooming back to the list to turn on my laptop. I didn't read the email that said Zoom only, my bad.
I
I'll
could
make
have,
it
I should have
bigger.
given you heads up too, but anyway,
Now this is a very interesting question on here. We got lot 2 Linden Street. This is a lot that the board approved back in December of 2019. It's a new lot, Mark Sweeney on Linden Street. And it needed variance for 4B for out of season testing, 5A for shoreline length over 100 feet, and 4F for the septic system being less than 150 feet to the aqueduct. The board approved those variances of the permit. The proposed system was a conventional pipe and stone trench system. And the owner is now looking at changing that design to a Presby bed. So the engineer's question is, could they redesign this as a Presby bed, making those offsets either better or remaining the same without going through the hearing process? Or it's just a redesign, which I think is a wise question, but they'd like to know that if they have to take that extra step before they get started.
Isn't a Presby bed better?
In theory, it does offer additional treatment, yes.
Paul?
I'm still catching my breath. Bear with me.
And if this is something the board wants to think about, that's fine. Again, you're never on the spot to answer immediately, so.
So it's sewer line length.
Shoreline length, out of season testing, and less than 150 to aqueduct.
And their specific question is if they go with a Presby, what?
If they redesign this system as a Presby bed, would they have to go through, because you're gonna have a new plan and a new permit before you, would they have to go through the variance hearing process?
Ah, okay.
Where the conventional system had already been approved with those same variances?
How does that fall in that falls within a 2-year window, does it not?
The permit itself,
It's December of
2
2000.
years would be up December of this year, 2021. So they'd be coming to you asking for an extension probably if they don't do something soon. But they're also looking to redesign and wondering if they have to go through the hearing process.
Did Sweeney keep that or did he sell it, Billy?
I don't know for sure, but based on my discussion with the engineer, it sounds like he is still planning on building it, but basically is preferring to go with the Presby bed. I don't know if it's cost or grading or what it is, but you have to look at redesigning.
Because they sold the house, correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they sold the big house.
I
Yeah.
think the plan was to like sell and build something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the offsets would be better, or we've already given them the okay on the other ones, right?
Well, the outer season testing wouldn't change and sewer line length wouldn't change. The engineer said that the offset to aqueduct would remain the same or be increased.
Or be what?
You know, increase, like say it's, let's say it's 60 now, he's saying it's gonna be 60 or 65 or 70, you know what I'm saying? He's saying the offset will not decrease, it'll be the same or better.
Okay. Have you experienced that sort of situational or system change before, Bill, anywhere?
I can't say I have,
Okay.
not with a variance.
Damn, I was hoping you had an ace up your sleeve and could help us out there.
I've had redesigns come in, but never anything that required, you know, variances.
Right, okay.
Yep, he's a good, yep, he's a good boy.
But we would basically be shortening a lot of the variances or lessening them, right, Bill, probably by a.
Not
Resby-
really. Nope. Again, out of season testing doesn't change. Sewer line length would probably be the same, because again, the Presby bed's gonna be in the same spot as the trenches. The only thing is that Presby has a smaller footprint, so it might actually be a little bit further, not a lot, but a little bit further. From that.
Right. I don't see an issue.
On the, on the surface, I don't see an issue, but I'm not sure why, to be honest. I'm just a little hesitant to say, yeah, no problem.
Well, why don't I put it to the engineer to get the redesign in? And then, I mean, the board, it doesn't affect the redesign. The board can either.
If they're gonna redesign, yeah, let them redesign. Let us take a look at it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna mandate a new hearing or anything else at this point, but let's see what their redesign tells us.
So let's compare the two designs. and see
Yes.
what they think. Okay.
Because they'll still have a reserve and all that, right, Billy? Everything will
Oh, yeah.
be, yeah, so, okay. Sounds good, Paul.
All righty. So that leaves us four hearings to schedule. I don't know if you want to stack them all up on September 7th. Which would be 2 meetings out.
How difficult are these hearings?
Well,
Four hearings.
4, yep. They're,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember anything particularly contentious with any of them, is there? Fairly generic.
well, 2 of them are very straightforward, 2 of them a little more complicated, but again,
Okay.
I don't see them as issues, but they do require the hearing.
Well, we've managed to do 5 hearings in one night.
Well,
Go ahead.
we still have the Lyman Road one, Billy, is that one
That
of
is
them?
on the next meeting, that's on the 20th. That's already set,
Yeah, that one's pretty much cut and dry.
yes. But this will be 4 new hearings for 4 new proposals.
Oh, okay.
Again, September 7th would be the next 2 meetings out.
I
So-
say, go ahead and schedule them.
Okay, so let's set some times and I'll set hearing notices. I'm gonna actually zoom back to the town building tonight and do that.
You think you should give extra time for the more contentious ones, Billy, and put
Well, I
the,
think we should do the simple ones first and
Yep.
and do
Yep.
10 minutes.
Okay,
And then maybe we'll jump to the 15 for the next one. So the first is Lot 4 Pollard Road, which is the last lot on that road.
oh, yeah.
So that is
7:30.
Yeah, so that's deep test holes and offset to catch basins like 144 feet versus the 150. It's close, but not quite. So we'll do 7:30 for lot 4 Pollard Road. And then 61 Ball Hill Road is just shoreline length. That's gonna be for a pool house and outbuilding, but just the way they're located and how they have to travel to the system there. Shoreline lengths are hundreds of feet long. So again, fairly straightforward. So that'll be at 7:40.
Okay.
Okay, then we've got 240 Pleasant Street. Some of the buildings adjacent to Indian Head Farm, they're trying to make more compliant by making them on compliant lots, putting in new septics, etc. So this is a proposal for a new system at, I guess it's known as the duplex at 240 Pleasant Street. And they're looking for out of season testing, shoreline length, those are pretty straightforward. They are asking for hydraulic overloading, less than 100 feet between systems. What's being proposed is 60 feet between the new system for this building and the reserve area that had to be proven for 232 Pleasant Street, another existing home, because they're subdividing land and they have to prove a reserve for that building. So both are existing. So technically, I guess you look at them as upgrades, but that's an offset that I guess we do see an upgrade, but not on the
Which, I missed, which property is this? 240 Pleasant?
240 Pleasant is the property that's before us, yeah.
What's there now?
It's an existing, I guess it's a. It's an existing house that they're proposing an addition on. I think, I'm not sure about the existing bedrooms. I'd have to look at that. Oh, I see.
Okay.
It's an existing 4-bedroom going to a 5. So it's an increase in flow, which means it has to meet Title V, which it does, but does need those local variances.
All right, so 7:50. Start that way.
750.
Time did you say 7:50?
Yeah,
I think we can just go with 8. Okay, so we get 730 Lot 4 Pollard Road, 740 61 Ball Hill Road, 750 240 Pleasant Street, and 316 Randall Road we'll put for 8 o'clock. And that is again, an increase in flow on an existing home. It's an existing 2. Wants to go to 4. This one's got a pretty good list. It's out of season testing. Also, they're asking for the perk test waiver. They did 1 perk in each area versus 2. But again, meets state code, shoreline length, and then there's a list of distance variances they need. Septic reserve area less than 100 feet to a wetland, 15 feet to a property line versus the town's 25. Septic to a foundation, and septic to a drain. So those are distance aspects that they're looking for. But again, this is an existing home. They're just increasing bedrooms.
can't they go up?
Have you seen that plan, Bill?
I've got it right here.
Before we, you said they only did 2 test holes?
Well, 2 perk tests. They
2
did
perk
adequate-
tests.
Yeah, they did Title V. Title V requires 2 deep holes and 1 perk test in each area, and that's what we've got.
Okay.
What was the address on that one, Billy?
316 Randall Road, it's across from Eloise.
Oh, yeah.
That little cute house with the shapes.
I think, I assume a growing family, more bedrooms. needed. So that's what I've got for here.
Okay.
240 Pleasant Street, that's the big house, isn't it, Billy?
Well, 232 is the big farmhouse. 240, they keep referring to as the duplex.
Oh, is this
Okay,
this is
yeah.
Cordelia's?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it says owner Tim Wheeler.
Yeah, all right.
I think it's the one right next to the Village Farm, Paul.
Yeah, I know.
between
Yeah,
The big house.
yeah,
Yeah, it goes farmhouse, duplex, village power.
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Right. Yep. So that is, that's what I got for hearings.
One more thing we have to discuss with Bill is the Berlin General Store
Oh, yeah.
request,
On what, the liquor license?
the liquor license, yeah. And now I know the fire department has said that they still have to replace a hood.
Mhm.
Fire and building inspector will not approve it because they haven't inspected the hood.
Well, they need a new hood from what I understand, which the
Right.
previous owner agreed to do. His first plan was rejected, and I'm not sure, I guess the second plan is still in the works. This is potentially an unfortunate situation because that's part of the sales agreement from what I read, that the sergeants are supposed to take care of that, but now we have a new owner. And the new owner is, in a sense, being penalized or held hostage because
Right.
the previous owner hasn't completed what he said he was going to. But that's between them. It's just unfortunate.
The
I-
liquor
I-
license,
Well, I think Bridget's aware of the need for the hood, but again, it falls under fire.
right?
So she's aware of it because it's part of the food service, but,
Any other concerns?
I don't know, it's still retail as far as the tip goes. Yeah.
And why do they need, I still don't understand, why do they need an entertainment license?
Yeah, I hear.
TV,
No idea.
Bill?
No idea. Sounds like a buy.
Well, I know to play music in some places or a TV, you do have to have some sort of license agreement. Like even at stores or restaurants, you do.
Okay, that was the new one.
Yeah,
Threw me for a loop.
me too. What are you gonna do? Concerts on the front steps?
Not within their zone one.
Right. That's right.
Do we have anything more for Bill?
Yeah, read my email. Folks.
They did get their tobacco thing straightened out. Billy, you
Yeah,
straightened them out on that?
yeah, they got their license.
Yeah.
Yep, we got what we needed as a new vendor and they got their license. Yep.
Good.
Just the background, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, on that, is their tobacco license was still good, but with the change of ownership, the tobacco distributor pulled the plug because they wanted an updated license. So,
Right, it sounds like they terminated the contract with the previous permit number on it. So they wouldn't respect it. So they needed a new contract with a new number. Because oddly enough, if you read both licenses, they're pretty much identical because they're
Right.
premises. They just have different numbers, which obviously indicates the change in ownership.
Yeah, I spoke with Ed about that and he said, yeah, without showing him the license, they wouldn't open up a new account for him.
Right, that was it, new account.
So it was basic. Yep.
on the agenda, one of the last things is my name and it says dash Hudson Berlin Properties. Can anybody tell me what that's about? Because I
That's
don't know.
because you told me that you wanted to bring up with the board this whole thing about people owning a little bit of property in Berlin,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
getting their water and sewer from my,
well, you could have given me a clue and put water and sewer with this. I mean, come on, geez.
It was only a couple of days ago, Paul.
Oh, your brain works at night, Sue. Come on. Yeah, what that's about is, and I'm sure I've mentioned it before, and it looks like no other town boards want to take any action on this. So what I'm hanging out to the Board of Health is that I'll take it on to compose a letter that we all agree to, that goes to planning board, Concom, and so forth, that just alerts these boards that there's no prohibition that would prevent somebody buying some land in Berlin and tying into the Clinton or Marlboro or Hudson sewer and water system in order to build a house. And that's, yeah, it doesn't affect our soils and waters and so forth, but I just think that's a potential big loophole for a developer to sneak in some corner of town. When you're tethered to somebody else's municipal system, are you really part of this town? I have an issue with that, and I know Concom does, because Concom's told me, well, don't just deny it. Don't let them do that. And we have no way of denying it. So I want to get the other boards involved, and it's not, I don't think it's a Board of Health regulation. It seems to me it would be planning board or something that needs to take action, but they may not be thinking about it. So I just want to bring it to their attention. So I'll draft something up and submit it to you guys.
Yep, Paul, I think it's a good point. I'm not sure that any board in Berlin could have control over another town's utilities. Hudson's policy seems to be, if you've got frontage in Hudson, you can tie into their system. So, look at the mall, part of it's in Berlin, and
Right.
Marlboro, Highland Commons, part of it's in Berlin, utilities through Hudson. So
There may be nothing we can do about it, but I just think that I personally am a little tired of having fingers pointed at the Board of Health for allowing this stuff. So I want to flush it out.
You could attempt to prohibit it, whether it's a Board of Health regulation or a zoning bylaw. I just think that if it was challenged, I think you'd have a tough time in a court of law. This is my
Probably.
opinion, defending it, because if Hudson says you have frontage in our town, therefore you have a right to use our utilities, how could you say no? I just don't know how Berlin could. You could prohibit it, but whether or not it would stand up legally is a good question.
What about lack of frontage, though?
Right.
There are land areas that wouldn't have frontage that I would like to protect.
Well, I think, obviously the lot to be a building lot in Berlin has to meet Berlin's requirements as far as frontage acreage. But again, it doesn't sound like you have to have much. Like, look at the gas station on the line, the Exxon. They were able to tie to Hudson Water. It's the only reason they ever done it. Because they must have a couple feet in Hudson. So yeah, I mean, it's a way to dodge the bullet, but I don't know. Number one, there aren't many properties in that position. But I know that seems to be Hudson's policy.
Yeah, I think if you go down Allen Road, which is a dead end road, there's a road that comes in from Clinton fairly close to that off of the acre that's been developed. And who's to say that line couldn't be extended into Berlin? And it's just that type of thing that I think needs to be explored.
Well, that is a different situation potentially, because I've got 6 or 7 houses on Woodley Road in Bolton, and they are tied to the Hudson store, and because the soil testing failed miserably, and it was owned, and they wanted to build houses. So it actually took an act of legislature to expand Hudson Store District to encompass these 6 or 7 homes in Bolton. So if you don't have frontage in the town, I think you're talking about a store expansion. That's a very different animal. That's DEP approval, a potential act of legislature for that.
Okay.
That might be self-governing. But I know what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know that Hudson would allow a lot fully in Berlin to tie in. Just say someone just said, yeah, gee, we could run this line over to this project. I think you might get a different answer from the town.
I would agree. If there's frontage in the town, there's probably nothing that can be done about it. It seems to be common sense that, yeah, you could do it. As long as, like in Hudson's case, they say, yeah.
Right.
So,
But it certainly would be a discussion, like you say, because it's a unique situation and, asking the board to say no, the board's really not even being asked to do anything. But the building permit wouldn't in theory even come before us because it's town water, town sewer. So what would we have to say about it?
I guess part of my thought process is Berlin has been under building pressure for a number of years, and with
Yep.
495, 290, there are people, I mean, look what's going on up at Hemlock Hill or Wheeler Hill Road or whatever it's called up there. I mean,
Yep.
And developers being developers, they will, you give them an inch, they'll take an inch and a quarter anyhow.
Right.
So, okay, that was all on that. I don't have
Well-
anything else for Bill. Bobby?
No, I was just gonna say, thank God 40B is enacted for a while with the apartments, so we should be a little bit safer that way, right, Bill? I mean,
I'm not sure the percentage, but it certainly seems to have taken that pressure off.
a little pressure off for a few years, yeah.
I want to say we were around 13% or so, but I'm not, don't quote me on that.
And what was the goal? 10?
10 is what you need to have.
Yeah.
You can say no after that.
So it's not, yeah, we're not real above it. Now,
Okay.
are there affordables at the, up on the new project on Highland Street? Well,
I don't know, Bobby. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't either, yeah. Huh. Okay,
So we can send Bill on his way with our blessing?
We can.
yeah,
All right.
What's that?
Well, I'm gonna head over to town office, get those hearing notices posted, and I will be there Thursday if you need me.
I'm
Okay.
trying to save you somebody.
I've got to catch up with you, Bill. I have a couple generic information questions I need to get clarified.
Absolutely.
So,
I'll be there.
okay,
All right.
appreciate it.
see you, Bill.
Maybe I'll do this.
Just go home. Bill gave me a slip for a couple of things you guys should be aware of. I'm gonna start with Kathleen Cornet. Phone 16 Baker Road. Apparently Donna's well aware of this. Apparently she's decided that what she paid for a sticker, which was 110 for a senior sticker, she should get 2 stickers for that. And Donna has explained that no, because the flyer says 1 or 2 households. It didn't say, did it say households or person?
What, I think it's 1 to 2 person household,
Right.
right?
And she thinks that entitles her to 2 stickers.
And
Well,
she
she
did that last year too, and the past 5 years. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she could pay the extra money and get another sticker, isn't that right, Paul? Or-
She doesn't want to though. She
Well-
doesn't want to pay the $30 for the second sticker, and she gave me a I don't want to say a load of, you know what, Saturday at the transfer station, but it's like, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with you. You pull your receipt from last year and show me where you got the 2 stickers for the 1 price.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. I said, well, then take it up with the board.
Right,
That, so.
Oh,
and I-
she called the board.
yeah, will be another $30 for the second.
That's right.
And
But-
the other one was a Joseph Ledger.
Uh-huh.
He's looking for a low income sticker. I don't know where people, they think we have a special sticker for low income.
Yeah, well, they-
We need to, next year, moving forward on our flyer, we need to put that there are no low-income
Low-income
stickers
stickers.
available.
Well, I think it's because if you're qualified or something for the assessors list, the hardship list, and that's an actual exemption that the
Right.
assessors do based on income and assets. So if they qualify for that, I guess then in turn, they should qualify for the lower price for the sticker. But I think the way it's written, people don't understand it.
right.
So
We've
I
read
think,
it before, they have to bring all that information to the assessors first,
right,
be on the hardship list,
right.
then they can come and see us. But
But if they are a tenant and they don't get that, then they should have to just, maybe we should word it like, if you need a low, no, you don't want to say low income. If you, oh, yeah, that's gonna be kind of hard to explain, you know?
Right. we'll have to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Paul, did you deal with someone, someone was asking about cardboard?
Yeah, I talked to the guy.
Okay.
And what
that's
did you tell them?
I told him it was $195 for a sticker.
There you go. Or you can take it to BP.
And he
and-
said, well, I belong to this something, something organization, 3 letters. It's the Condo Association down on Dudley Road. And he said, well, do you do any group discounts? I said, no, it's household by household.
Right.
I told him, I said, you can contract for curbside service with any number of companies.
Yeah.
I invited him to take a look at the transfer station to see if it's something that may work for him going down the road.
Yeah.
But that's it. And he said, okay, thanks for the information.
Another thing you could tell Paul, so if it's a one-time thing and he's also, you just say, bring it down to BP and pay by the load, down to Hudson. And they weigh you up with wherever it is.
Yeah, but he's looking to recycle cardboard, Bobby.
Mm.
Yeah, well, they'll take it down there.
Yeah, but they'll charge him.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's looking to recycle for free, okay? I
Oh.
didn't say the word free.
I didn't hear that, so.
Well, but that's kind of
Yeah.
implied anyhow.
And Bill was so kind to bring me the posting requirements for when we go to announce our public hearing for the regs changes.
Mm.
So I have to post it twice in the newspaper,
Twice. Oh, wow.
twice, 2 consecutive weeks in a row. And then that has to be at least 14 days before the actual hearing. Now, I wanted, we picked a date of September, mid-September. How would you feel if we have to, I don't want to set this up and then cancel it.
No.
I'm concerned about how rapidly things are changing. I'd be willing to do this if I drag a bunch of chairs out and put it in the lower parking lot. And do it outside. Or maybe the fire station would let us sit in the back end of the fire station and have a meeting there. What do you guys think? Any good ideas?
I'd say, let's see what devolves out of this. Hopefully it's gonna get better. I don't know, or worse. It's just,
We're going to be going back to masks in the municipal building. I can tell
Oh.
you that.
Well, I told you that last week. I knew.
Well, a little closer to officialdom today.
really? Yeah.
Margaret's going to buy a mask dispenser to have down in the lobby, so anybody that comes in can get a mask.
Are the doors gonna be locked again then? And is it by appointment?
Not initially that I know of, Donna, no.
Okay. All right.
I think this time around, being a little more cautious, a half step at a time.
Okay.
But,
Right.
2 weeks from now, it could be a whole different story because of everybody that has chosen not to get vaccinated.
Right. I'm vaccinated.
I think we all are.
And then there's the whole new thing with the L variant. I don't know if you guys have read up on that.
The what?
The L variant.
I
On
just,
top of the Delta? Yeah.
I just heard a blurb on that, but I didn't catch the
Yeah,
whole.
I've been watching that for the last few weeks. Well, there are at least 100 cases or more in the United States. And this variant is resistant to vaccines.
Oh, great.
So, it's little studied, and the study was out of Japan, I think, but that's gonna be the new one on the horizon.
For our next,
That's why I want to throw it out now, because I can start planning
right.
to get something in the newspaper.
Nobody may want to hear this, but I'm not so sure that scheduling the regulation hearing for the 21st in September is going to be appropriate.
Okay.
Okay.
I
What,
just-
What
Right now, I think it's meeting to meeting.
Right.
We look at that.
Okay.
and that's how we'll figure out the Zoom meetings too, you guys. It'll either be
know.
Zoom or next meeting, or we'll go to in person or.
But I promise our next Zoom meeting, I will put Zoom meeting in big print,
Okay.
Oh,
in capitals at least.
yeah, no, I saw the Zoom thing, Sue, but I thought it was one of those quasi Zooms like last time, like the meeting we had,
But
with
the last time I did in person and Zoom. This time I
Yeah.
wrote Zoom only.
okay. So,
Because we thought it was a short meeting.
yeah, it is,
Nothing
yeah.
big that we had to actually see.
Yep.
So. All right, then.
I've got one last thing. Anybody else have anything?
I do not.
Nope.
Okay. Both of you should have received copies of transfer station manager job description and attendant job description.
Yes,
And I should have highlighted 2 or 3 things that were changes in the job description, which Personnel Committee was okay with. And if the board is okay with it, then I forward this to the select board for their okay. Don't ask me why, but I guess that's the procedure. And where I'm coming from with those additions, well, we have 2 guys there on Saturday, $40 an hour.
Yep.
And when I go there, I usually make the rounds to all the recycle containers. And I often see loads that are contaminated. People throw cardboard boxes in with the bottles. They do this. And I think our employees should be policing those containers at least once an hour to pull that stuff out, because if a load is contaminated, and I'll give the case of Canigliaro, right now it's $70 a ton for a clean load. And if it's not, it's going to be 100 or 120 for a contaminated load. And we have people on site that should be monitoring that. And I'm just trying to spell that out, as well as, active daily policing of the grounds for debris that's around the containers and stuff like that.
I agree.
So, I mean, that's the root of these additions, I'll call them. So if anybody
Should
has
we
any
make-
comments or questions, now's the time. Otherwise, I'm going to ask for a vote on this, that the board accepts these, and we can move forward to enact them. And I'm sure there'll be some pushback down the road at the transfer station, but there's nothing that says we can't expand job job descriptions, job duties, and we're not asking a lot here either, so.
I have no problem with it, Paul.
I don't either. Would you
I-
like me to make a motion to
Please.
approve? I'd like to make a motion to accept the new / amended job descriptions for the transfer station manager and the transfer station attendant.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Aye, okay.
All right.
Now's a fine time to ask, but we don't have any visitors to this meeting, do we?
no, we do not.
Okay. Other than that, do I hear another motion?
I'd like to make an emotion to adjourn this meeting.
Okay. 8:01. I'll second it.
All in favor, we'll do a roll call. Sue,
Aye.
Bobby,
Aye.
Paul, aye.